Hey guys, I'm down here. This is going to be my chapter review to One Punch Man 100.2, 100 Part 2, no title. Now, I think it's called no title because it's just an extension of the last chapter, so it has no title. It's still called whatever the last chapter was called, which was Light. So it's Light Part 2. Now, I thought this was a good chapter, but for the first time in a long while, I had an issue with a part of this chapter. So I had an issue with something that One or Murato, or both of them together, thought of together, and I had an issue with. I didn't like one part of the chapter, and I'll come to that later on. But the first thing we see is Child Emperor and Brave Giant essentially collapsing after what would have been expending all of their energy, burnt up all of their resources, and they've now just collapsed to one knee. And Child Emperor's just there, like, whew, like that was a struggle. This guy was crazy. He was like, this guy was way beyond my imagination, referring to Phoenix Man, and we see that underground lake that they were in has completely evaporated. It's an observation that Waganma makes due to all of the heat and energy you'd assume that was given off by this huge freaking Emperor Kamehameha, whatever it was called. But then we instantly find out that Phoenix Man has somehow survived. Now, the double spread we get upon finding out that Phoenix Man is alive is absolutely amazing. There's just something about it, seeing Phoenix Man flying right beneath this gigantic hole that has formed in the ceiling of this cavern, and it's gone through multiple layers of the Monster Association. You see his 6 wings just spread out, sun shining down through, and his comment, he's just like, yeah, he mentioned something about how he feels like I don't even know what he says. He says something real cool, and just seeing him there, I thought that was a really well drawn panel. Seeing Child Emperor on his knee looking up, thinking, holy shit, in his Brave Giant. Seeing Phoenix Man looking down from above with the sun streaming in from behind him, sunlight just pouring in around him, making him look so majestic, and it looked so awesome. I really thought that was well done, and it was a fantastic point of view. Just really well drawn and well chosen double spread to have put into this chapter. And Phoenix Man's redesign looks awesome as hell. I think it looks incredible. He essentially, what happened is he absorbed so much energy that his appearance has kind of deformed because of how much energy he took in, giving him a Two-Face style look. You know, half of him is it looks kind of like third-degree burn kind of thing, very sinewy, very muscly, and contorted. And the rest of him looks fine. And then you see his eye, which looks like it's kind of been burnt across, and it looks like it's whited out. The same with the 3 eyes down his right rib side as well, or down the right side of his torso beneath his ribs. He looks a lot more like Flame Wingman from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX as well, so check that out. Phoenix Man then confirms to us that the Monster Association is indeed investigating Metal Knight's technology and his suit, after nonchalantly commenting about the fact that he was aware of Child Emperor collecting and sending data back to, I assume, the Hero Association on their fight and whatever he's seen of Phoenix Man. So basically collecting data, and then he'll hopefully use that to assess future threat levels of monsters and stuff like that, and their possible capabilities. Phoenix Man then very calmly informs Child Emperor that he's going to turn him to mincemeat. You know, you got to remember this is a kid, and he's basically just like fighting a kid, and he's like, I'm gonna turn you to mincemeat. You're gonna be dead, like not even just dead. So we then see another cool form from Phoenix Man. He assumes his woodpecker form. We don't get any cool title page or anything like that with it, or an introduction page to that power up. He just kind of says, have you ever heard of the woodpecker? And then he very closely resembles a woodpecker the next time we see him in that panel. And he uses this to try and skewer Brave Giant and yank out the little maggot inside, which is Child Emperor. And this is where the chapter kind of takes a turn for where I didn't like it. But this sequence was fine. I was fine with the sequence, and it was actually really good, a really creative way for Child Emperor to never give up. You know, even though technically there shouldn't have been anything left in the tank, and Brave Giant should have basically been incapable of doing anything. Somehow, some way, he still finds the energy to open up its chest. But we'll come back to that. So using his little braves, Child Emperor bets it all on kind of this last-ditch effort, propelling his Brave Giant with these little giants forward and opening And they propel Brave Giant forward, and open his chest kind of opens to reveal a mouth-like trap, kind of like a bear trap, just from the chest. And I'm pretty sure we've seen this from somewhere before. I'm not too sure where it comes from, some sort of Gundam, or maybe it was from One Piece, something Frankie built or something, I don't know. But at this point in time, Child Emperor himself is exposed here in the chest, surprising Phoenix Man. And in this moment of surprise, the little Braves forcibly close this kind of bear trap on Phoenix Man, just trapping him in place and clamping down on him so he can't move for a little bit. And Phoenix Man, in his anger, dices the Brave Giant into pieces, even slicing Child Emperor across the kind of chest a little too, right across the diaphragm. And we discover something really cool at this point in the chapter. I thought this was dope. Both Gale Wind and Hellfire Flame are alive. They're like completely alive. Like not even alive, they're fully alive. And they're fully healed due to Phoenix Man's Ido Tensei from last chapter. Their bodies have scars where they were sliced apart by Flashy Flash, but they've recovered completely and they've regained like consciousness. They've regained cognition, and the boys are back. They just look completely fine. They're not degenerative or anything like that. They're back from the dead completely. They're back in the story. I want to know exactly why Murata and One decided to do this. I mean, I have no idea where they're going to go from this. I assume they're going to go for Flashy Flash again. Or maybe they'll encounter Sonic this time and they'll try and recruit him in or something like that, and he'll betray them, stabbing them in the back. But they're going to be a part of the story going forwards because they haven't been killed off and they've been brought back. So let's see where that goes. Now, this next part of the chapter is what I didn't like. Phoenix Man is then defeated by Child Emperor while he was momentarily trapped in this darkened environment of Brave Giant's chest. So he's not defeated while he's in Brave Giant's chest. He's defeated shortly after. But while he was in Brave Giant's chest and in this darkened environment, Child Emperor slid a tickle bug number 3 into into Phoenix Man's suit. And he struggles, Phoenix Man struggles to take off his suit. He's being tickled all over the place. He's very ticklish apparently. And he's just really trying to find this bug and take it off. And eventually he's just getting so annoyed and so exasperated by this tickle bug that he tears open the chest of his suit in order to get at the tickle bug. Now the tickle bug is designed to tickle someone so viciously that they suffer from dyspnea, which is... I think it's a lack of being able to breathe due to certain environmental conditions. So in this case, he's laughing so hard, he's not actually breathing as much as he should be, resulting in a lack of obviously oxygen intake, a lack of carbon dioxide expiration. So all of that build up in the blood collapse. So that's essentially what the idea of the tickle bug is, which is cool, but this tearing off of the suit essentially kills the suit, stripping Phoenix Man of his powers, allowing Child Emperor to literally grab him by the ankles and tread on his nuts until he passes out. That's exactly what happens. It sounds stupid, it's One Punch Man, but that's exactly what happens. He grabs him by the ankles and then has this extension on his right leg or something like that. I think Child Emperor called Gem Buster. I mean, it's not even a subtle hint. He just goes in and treads on the guy's balls until he collapses, and then Child Emperor tears apart the suit so that it can't come back. Now, what annoyed me about this was, wouldn't it have been better and cooler and have made more sense to just allow Phoenix Man to die because of the Kamehameha, the Emperor Kamehameha, whatever it was called? I know I wanted to see him return last chapter, I was saying this, but not to be put down in a comedic way, and I understand this is One Punch Man. But usually the important fights not involving Saitama are quite nail-biting sequences, on the edge of your seat kind of thing. And I would have preferred Phoenix Man going out in style with that huge Kamehameha rather than losing to a tickle bug. This Phoenix Man has been one of the most awesome monsters we've seen, period. He's had multiple transformations, an awesome power, a cool backstory, kind of a saddening backstory, and an actual reason to want to fight against not really a main reason to fight against the heroes, but he has some sort of kind of reasoning for fighting against the heroes. And then he has his ambition to be the demon king, the monster king, or the king of the monsters and stuff like that. So he was an interesting character, and to see him go out like this, I would have preferred for him to go out due to the Kamehameha rather than a tickle bug. and a kick to the balls multiple times. You know, it's like that. It's like that Team 4-star scene with Vegeta. He's like, "Why are they kicking me in the nuts?" But we then see Saitama for the first time in forever, where he encounters Gale Wind and Hellfire Flame. They can't remember what happened to them, but they pursue Flashy Flash nonetheless, and they try to kill Saitama on the spot. As soon as they see him, they assume the unfamiliar man is some sort of hero. So they try to kill him, and Saitama easily dodges their attacks, their signature kicks, you know, the Hellfire Flame kick and the Gale Wind kick. Something which irks them greatly as the pride of the ninja, you know. But they swallow this bitter pill in their pursuit of Flashy Flash. They tell Saitama they'll remember his face and they'll come for him sooner or later, leaving Saitama to wonder why the naked men are running around the Monster Association with their junk hanging out and stuff like that. And it's funny because the entirety of this ninja village, eventually, all of the remnants of this ninja village are eventually going to hate Saitama and going to be out for his life for some strange reason. So Child Emperor comments on how lucky he was to win this fight, using it as food for thought. Waganma suddenly works up the courage to berate and command Child Emperor now that the danger has passed the little shit. And Child Emperor asks at this point if he was the only person, if Waganma was the only human being kept captive. Something Waganma affirms, that little two-faced piece of shit. He just sold out Bobcut, dude. And, you know, after this, Waganma really deserves no salvation. You know, you've just been saved by an S-Class hero. I understand the S-Class hero just about managed to save you, but you're not trying to save your own hide now. You still got to get out. And Child Emperor is in charge of that too. So you're really not doing anything, Waganma. He's just kind of there for the ride. Why do that? Why do you got to be like that? You just sold out Bobcut. The only Bobcut in this manga so far, I think. There might have been multiple Bobcuts. But this is my favorite Bobcat. Why you gotta do him like that? And now he's gonna be some sort of I assume he's now Bobcat Kid. Forgotten his name. That's the reason why I'm going for Bobcat. I assume he's gonna be some sort of development item within the story for Gato once he assumes like his full monster form, which is what I assume is gonna happen. Just because that's the way things seem to be going. So I feel like he'll progress Gato in some way, which is better, but it doesn't make me hate Waganma less for what he did in this situation. So that's the chapter, that's the review. Let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. Let me know what you guys thought of this review. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in a bit.